All right, so if you clicked on the video, you probably would like to have a heated chamber for your 3D printer. Mine's an Elegoo Centauri Carbon. There is no active heater for this, so I could buy something, uh, but the choices are limited. Uh, and if they break, they break. You got to buy another one. I mean, they probably work fine, but if there's an issue, you end up having to get another one. Uh, and there's only a few selections that I found. There might be more. And one of the selections they won't even ship to me here in California because of whatever reason. So what I'm going to do, I've decided to go a different route. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Amazon Basics heating element. It's like 16 bucks. And this is where it might lose some of you. So this is all depends on your desire and ability to want to do this. What I'm going to do is mount this to the side like that, and I'll have the screen or the grill on the inside. So that comes off. It'll capture the box on the panel, and it'll hang off the side. And that way, I'll have a heating element that will be controlled by one of these simple thermostat controllers. This one's for a heat mat or a lamp or something. Says for a reptile cage or something. But there's other styles. There's some that go, you set the high and the low. This one, you just set the temperature and uses a thermocouple to keep it in the range. So it'll go up to whatever desired temp and fall back down a few degrees and turn back on. And so that'll regulate the internal temperature. So that's my plan. But you have to be willing to cut a hole in the side of your panel here. I'm not afraid of doing that. I'll show you how I'll do it, but your choices will probably be more along the lines of a jigsaw, a Dremel, or 10 snips, or something like that. So that, if you care to do this, will be up to the individual how they want to approach it to have it done. But it's pretty straightforward. Just take the panel off. I'm gonna cut the hole out, assemble the heater onto it, and have everything outside except for the temperature probe. And I'll have a heater for the Centauri Carbon, and or whatever other 3D printer is out there that you're viewing this. And it doesn't. Maybe it's not handy to have a heater, or you want to do something a little more modular. So if the heater goes out, I can change that. If the controller stops working, I can just change that. It's not like I have to go out and buy a whole new system or something, and or there's something totally inside the machine that has to be monitored to or it doesn't get in the way. So uh, let's go ahead and do this. I won't show you the disassembly. There's your basic screws on the side to pop that off, and I'll show you a little bit as I go along as far as how I'm doing as far as putting the opening in, and then once it's all set up. So pretty straightforward. Just wanted to show people an alternative should they accept the challenge. Be right back. All right, to get the side panel off, you got to unload the machine and take out the tubes from the filament sensor, and then there's a connector that you got to get off on the back of here to be able to take the panel away from the machine. So just be aware of that. The connector needs to come off. All right, so here I have the piece up on my mill. I know a lot of you don't have access to this type of stuff, but that's why I suggested other methods, and they're doable. It just depends on how you want to do it, if you want to do it. So there's this port that I'm not using, but there's a piece on the back here that comes out a little bit further. Just make sure you avoid that, and it comes up off the bottom however much you want. I'll keep it down towards the bottom, and then it just comes close to that side. And I just held the housing down. Once you take the screws off the back and the front for to get it apart, and you can get the housing off and use that as a template for making the hole. But I'll give dimensions for that. There was a guy who was doing something similar with this Amazon Basic heater and a heater controller, but he was designing a box to go inside the machine. And like over here, you only have 2¼ inches, and you got however much vertically, but it was going to be a chore dealing with the electronics. And I sat there for a minute, and I had an epiphany to just put it on the outside. So that's what I'm going to do. And but this is the next step I'm going to do. I got the position here, so I just need to take out this section, and I can go to the lines. However you're going to do it, you could just just go to the line that you sketch out, and you should be good. There's a little gap where the tabs were, but you just make it straight all the way around. So let me get started. All right, so here is the hole inside of my case. There's to be stay away from that a little bit. I'll put some dimensions up as far as from the edges, just to give you a rough estimate of what you need to do. So I did use a mill to do the straight lines, but as far as the corners go, I did blend those in with, like I mentioned, a Dremel with the sandpaper barrel. And as far as that, let me see. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so just have 3, 4, or 5 of these barrel ends, and depending on how you cut it out, you could just smooth it to the lines and do a similar job as what I've done. I just did it a little easier, but not impossible and not really hard. Just takes time. So there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble the fan into it, and we'll see what it looks like then. It's pretty simple. I'll just feed this stuff through and have the grill up against the inside, and then put it on the back, and put the screws in, and it should be good. Anyway, I'll be back. All right, printed up a few guides to hold the temperature probe. I'm going to put it up along the side, kind of the height where most of my printing happens, essentially. But it should just be good enough for the whole thing. Figure I'll put it close to where the action is. Let me go ahead and put these in. All right. So here's the final product. I have the holder, the thermocouple, guiding it down. So where I have it coming in, here's Amazon heater. It's on. I got my dryer. I like it. And then I got the controller back there that controls the heater. I have it set for 38 Celsius. It shows 30. Who knows what's accurate, but it's warm, and that's what I wanted. So I'll just keep it at that. Let the machine do whatever it does, and that's it. So, any questions? Go ahead and leave them in the comments, uh, and I'll answer as best I can. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Um, so there, I got a heater for Centauri Carbon or whatever printer you have that you can do something like this too, uh, without having to put a box in the side and or inside or and things like that. And it's cheaper. I mean, 16, that's 32. Say a few more bucks for whatever else you might need. Let's say a Dremel, that's maybe $20, $30 if you don't have something like that. But certainly doable for anybody. A little harder, or time consuming. Not really harder, but it's just time consuming to get the hole cut out and things like that. So there you go. You can have a heated chamber and out in the garage. If you're indoors, maybe it's not such a concern. But for those that have them places where you don't have heat or don't want to pay for having the heater on just to print, uh, this is a good option. Anyway, leave a like if you got some value. Other than that, have a good day.